What's up guys, Steve here with another unemployment update, and in this video I'm going to get you caught up on everything that you need to know about enhanced unemployment benefits in 2020. So I'm going to be recapping for you the Fpuc program that added $600 per week on top of unemployment benefits. I'm also going to get you caught up on the LWA program from the President's Executive Memorandum that issued $300 per week on top of unemployment benefits, and a brief update for those of you that are still waiting to see that. And also I'm going to let you know how we could potentially be seeing an Fpuc2 coming up this week, what it'll look like and when you can expect to receive it, or if that falls through, LWA2 and what that could look like and when you could expect to receive that. So in this video, I'm going to get you caught up on all of the details about enhanced unemployment. And if you like that, if you could do me a quick favor, it'll just take a second. Smash the like button. I would appreciate it because YouTube channel success is pretty much based on interaction. So when you smash the like button and leave comments, it helps out my channel. Thank you so much. And also, if you'd like to stay up to date on everything rolling out, be sure to smash the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that way as soon as I upload videos, you can be notified. And if you don't already, be sure to follow me on Instagram at SteveRam3. All right, so making these enhanced unemployment video updates has probably been my #1 request, other than people asking me to speak a little bit slower. But I drink coffee before these so I can have good energy, and I'm from California, so speaking slower probably isn't gonna happen, but I can keep you guys up to date in these videos. So let's talk about enhanced unemployment, and I'm gonna go through these and what we've experienced in 2020 in chronological order. So we're gonna start with the first one, which is Fpuc. And this pretty much set the precedent. Now this started at the end of March when the CARES Act was enacted. That's what it came from. And it went from March all the way until the end of July. It was set to expire July 31st. However, due to the distribution days of many states being Saturday or Sunday, a lot of people saw the end of this benefit on July 25th or July 26th. Now this added an additional $600 per week on top of your unemployment benefits, and it was applied retroactively for anybody that lost their job due to the pandemic and was collecting as little as $1 from unemployment benefits. This was known as Fpuc, our first version of enhanced unemployment. Now this has been a massively controversial topic that still does not have bipartisan agreement to this day. And here's why. Because when the Fpuc $600 weekly boost on top of unemployment benefits rolled out, it was reported that in 2020, the people that were collecting this enhanced unemployment benefit were actually making more money unemployed than when they were working full time. Now, some people are making the argument that this is very necessary because we're in a pandemic and this is a health and safety issue for people that can't go back to work because of that. And some, their entire industries have been demolished and they don't have a job to go back to. In addition to that, they now have to pay for their own health insurance. So a lot of people are saying that this is very much needed. On the other hand, we have other people criticizing this, saying that if you give people more money to stay home and not work, that is going to totally disincentivize them to even make an attempt to go back out and find a job, as why would anybody go and work a 40-hour per week job and make less money than if they could stay home? So this has been an ongoing point of contention, so much so that when we saw Fpuc expire, Congress couldn't come to an agreement on any way to extend it. So that's when we saw the president step in and issue an executive action to continue enhanced unemployment benefits. Now, if you're wondering, an executive action is essentially when the president steps in and he makes an order without the support of Congress and just does something on his own. And a lot of people made the argument that the president did not even have the legal authority to do this. And the president acknowledged it and said, you know what, maybe I don't, but if you want to challenge me and take me to court, go ahead and do so. But keep in mind the fact that this was your job and I'm doing this because you didn't. And if you stop me from sending out money to the American people in need at this time, then you're evil. And when he said that, nobody casted any stones and it went through. And he did acknowledge the fact that they were correct that the president cannot issue new funds. But he said, you know what, I'm not going to issue new funds. I'm simply going to reallocate existing funds that have already been issued that have not been used. And that's exactly what he did. And he created this program known as LWA. Now, the LWA program, or the Lost Wages Assistance Program, is from the president's executive memorandum where he reallocated $44 billion from FEMA's disaster relief funds and and dropped it into this enhanced unemployment benefits program. Now, everybody on this program that was approved to receive LWA would receive an additional $300 per week on top of their unemployment benefits, with the exception of a couple states that said they would contribute an additional $100 on top of that, so that way their unemployed claimants could receive $400 per week. And those states included Kentucky, West Virginia, Montana, and also the U.S. territory of Guam. Now, this was to be applied retroactively from the end of July when Fpuc expired, and it was guaranteed 3 weeks and potentially could go up to 6 weeks. And we saw some states get the full 6 weeks out into September, and some states did not get the full 6 weeks. Now, in order to be eligible to receive this, unlike the Fpuc program where pretty much anybody got it that lost their job due to the pandemic, LWA's requirements were a little bit stricter. It required that you made a minimum of $100 per week before taxes to receive this benefit. And some of the states carried over the Fpuc rule that you must have lost your job due to the pandemic. So a little bit stricter requirements. So as I said, the vast majority of states have already sent out their LWA benefits, but there are a handful of states that are currently paying out their claimants, and some states where the claimants are still waiting to receive that money. So I'm going to give you guys a quick update for those of you that are still waiting. If your state has already been paid out, I'm not going to cover any updates because there's nothing to be updated. You've already been paid. So let's go through the list really quick. I'm going to go through in chronological order from the time states were approved to receive LWA. So August 19, 2020, Idaho, the update is they're now paying out 6 weeks. August 21st, 2020, California, they paid out 3, 4, and 5 weeks. Some people are still waiting to get that benefit. August 22nd, 2020, Vermont has paid out 3 weeks. August 23rd, 2020, Alaska. You can expect to see that payment mid-October, and it'll be for 6 weeks. August 25th, 2020, Arkansas has paid out 3 of 6 weeks, and the rest are likely to come out in payments. August 26th, 2020, Virginia. They're saying that they've been delayed, and you can expect to see that money October 15th. August 28th, 2020, approved Wyoming has paid out 3 weeks. August 29, 2020, approved Hawaii has paid out $300 per week, and they're going to do so for the next 6 weeks. September 1st, 2020, Wisconsin. You can expect to see that money October 31st, and it should cover 5 weeks of payments. Delaware, we have an update. They're now paying out 6 weeks of LWA benefits. September 3rd, 2020, New Jersey, we have an update. The New Jersey Department of Labor has said that you can expect to see that money in early October, likely the first week, but today we heard the governor say that he's going to be inquiring about more information. So we're going to get an update on New Jersey soon. Hopefully it'll be good news and not news about a delay. If you're from New Jersey, please let me know when you hear or if you see any money hit your bank account. And you can expect to see they're saying either 5 or 6 weeks of payments. September 7th, 2020, Kansas, we have an update. They have now paid out 1 of their 6 weeks. September 8th, 2020, Washington, D.C. has paid out 4 of 6 weeks. A lot of people are asking when the rest will come. We currently don't have any information if they've even been approved yet. I have not heard of the last 2 weeks. Guam has paid out 3 weeks, and they're expecting more on the way. September 11th, 2020, the U.S. Virgin Islands, I don't have any information on them. And Nevada, you can expect to see your money in mid-October, and it should be 6 full weeks. So as the pandemic continues in the year 2020, it is likely that we will continue to see enhanced unemployment benefits. And it is likely that we're going to be seeing a second round of Fpuc or a second executive action for LWA. So let's discuss what we likely will see potentially even this week. Now, as I mentioned, Fpuc is a controversial topic that Republicans and Democrats still don't agree upon. And right now, it is possible that we could see a stimulus package agreement reached this week. So you know where the stances are. Democrats are saying $600 per week until the end of the year. They're suggesting just another round of Fpuc starting on the first week of September. Republicans, on the other hand, however, are suggesting $400 per week starting the second week of September and going until the end of the year. So if we reach an agreement this week, it is likely we will see something along those lines, and that Fpuc will likely land between $400 and $600 per week. As soon as I hear, I will be sure to let you guys know. Now, keep in mind the fact that there is the possibility that Congress still cannot come to any sort of stimulus package agreement. Then the president could step in and issue an executive action to extend LWA. Now, keep in mind the president doesn't want to do this because this is not his job. And second of all, he has to go out and find money sitting around that's not used and reallocate it. In addition to that, Congress doesn't want the president to do this because it's going to make them look worse and more incompetent than they're already making themselves look. Now, if the president does this, keep in mind he has to go out and find $44 billion to extend LWA for 3 to 6 weeks for $300 per week. And in addition to that, if Congress doesn't come up with a stimulus package, he's going to have people asking for executive actions for stimulus checks, for airline bailout, for PPP, and all of that costs money. And he's going to have to find what's left just sitting around and figure out what is it that's really going to require these funds. Because stimulus checks, that's going to be $250 to $300 billion by itself. An airline bailout is $25 billion. So it's not like he's going to have to go out and find this money. So really the ideal situation is if Congress can come together and issue new funds. But if not, the president is going to have to do this. And let's say he wants to do 3 months at $300 per week. According to what we saw from the first round, he would have to find $88 billion to issue for LWA. However, keep in mind the fact that if Congress cannot come to an agreement on Fpuc2, that we could see LWA2, but the president has limited funds and limited abilities, so we're going to see if that would roll out. So the big question, when would we see this roll out? Well, if it's going to be Fpuc, we're hearing potentially that we could have an agreement this week. If that's the case, hopefully we would see that money roll out very soon because we already have the systems in place for Fpuc to roll out. So my guess would be it would be very, very quick. Now, if we don't have an agreement, and Congress comes out and announces no agreement was reached, negotiations failed, my guess would be immediately after that, the president would start issuing executive actions, and one of which would be LWA extended. And if he does that, chances are that once again, it's just simply going to depend on your state's ability to distribute funds. Let us hope that it'll be a little bit faster since now they already have those systems in place. Well, you guys, that is your update on enhanced unemployment benefits. I hope that this was helpful and informative. As updates roll out, I will be sure to let you guys know. It's very likely we might hear of a potential Fpuc2 rolling out this week, but if not, we'll see an LWA2 very likely. So once again, I'll be sure to keep you guys up to date on everything. And if you like that, if you appreciate these videos, if you haven't already, if you could do me a quick favor, smash the like button, I would appreciate it. And if you'd like to stay up to date on everything rolling out, once again, be sure to smash the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that way as soon as I upload these videos, you can stay notified. And once again, if you don't already, be sure to follow me on Instagram at SteveRam3. Well, you guys, I hope this reaches you well. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.